guys, wanted to go ahead and just do a video on everyday carry and to go from there. So these are currently the everyday carry items I've been using as of late. And yeah, let's break it down. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is this pen here. This is the Uniball Vision Elite 0.5. I know you may or may not believe me, but I have tested a lot of pens. I would go to Japanese stationery stores and I would like literally check and test every single pen. And one day I came across this pen on Amazon, and it was actually a recommendation from someone in One Bag Reddit. They were like, dude, this pen is awesome. And I love this pen. This pen, you can get about 12 of these for about 20 bucks or so. It's dirt cheap. It's a really, really good pen. It writes really well. I absolutely love it. It is, to date, my favorite pen of all time. So Uniball Vision Elite, get 0.5. Really, really good pen. Speaking about pens, I want to talk about the Rhodia notebooks. So I know everyday carry folks, what they use instead is Write in the Rain. But for me personally, I find the paper on those, I don't think they're good for writing. Like if you actually want to write on like something that writes well, I actually think this paper is really good. So check out Rhodia notebooks. And I like Rhodia notebooks and check out the Rhodia.pad. It's really, really good. Sorry for the noise in the background. I have the windows open. It's a really hot day today. It is 81 degrees. So yeah, just anyway, so there's that. But this paper is really, it's like silky smooth. It's so good. I love this paper. I know paper is just paper, but this is really good paper. So Rhodia is definitely one of my favorites. Okay, my favorite multi-tool. It ain't a Leatherman. Surprise, surprise. It's the Victorinox Rambler. So I love it because it's got scissors, it's got a tiny little knife for opening packages, it's got a screwdriver, a bottle opener, and it's got a flathead, tiny flathead right there, and it's also got a nail, whatever, which I don't use. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but I have a bad habit with nails. I bite my fingernails. If you look at my fingernails, they're all uneven. It's because I have a nervous habit, so I don't use nail clippers or whatever. But this combo is awesome. This scissor is so good. It is really, really, really good. And then I use that bottle opener whenever I drink like Coke. And then this little screwdriver here has gotten me in it's actually really, really good. And then also there's a flathead right here, which is really handy. And then I got a little tiny knife for opening packages. I don't need a big honking knife, even though I happen to collect knives, but I don't actually carry those with me. This is probably the one I use the most. All right, speaking of packages, I would say the package opener I use the most is actually the Slice 1051. This thing is awesome. I have like 6 of these. I've gifted these out. These are amazing. This is actually very safe for children, but at the same time, it can rip open a box. I mean, it has power in it. This is a really, really good box cutter. In my opinion, I don't use any other box cutter. I pretty much just use this. It's awesome. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is basically the headphones I use the most. I would say they're AirPods Pro 2. Now, the funny thing is I do have an IEM channel here, and I talk about IEMs, but nothing can beat the convenience of AirPods. They're just so nice and compact. They're comfortable. They sound good enough for what I needed to do, and I can field calls with clients. I mean, this is perfect. This is just perfectly fine for what I need it for. For scissors, you know what the funny thing is? This is my favorite scissors. These are Olfa scissors. These are size 7-inch. Now, I don't carry these scissors with me all the time, but I would say I have about 3 or 4 of these in the house. These are really, really, really great scissors as far as scissors go, so I definitely recommend them. These are really great scissors. Okay, in terms of, let's say here, flashlight, it's got to be the Olight Mini. I love this. You just crack it open like that. I mean, that's genius. I love it. And then it's also USB powered at the end, but I just love it. It's so handy. Like every now and then I got to go pick up packages downstairs, or I go downstairs to pick up like a DoorDash order, and it's handy. I love that. Nice and compact too. I don't need to twist it, so I can also do this one-handed if needed. I mean, this is handy. I love this. Okay, next is the Knipex pliers. Obviously, these are most EDC channels will feature will feature this particular plier because it's compact.
This fulfills my plier requirement.
And of course, it's actually useful just for grabbing and pulling and prying and stuff as well. So
Definitely wanted to carry a good set of pliers, and the Knipex Cobra Mini pliers are the obvious choice.
It's got a lot of power, great for precision, probably the best plier out there in the world, unless there's something better in which I'll buy it, but this is pretty much kick-ass, so this is the best pliers out there, Knipex. Okay, this is a battery charger. I don't know what the company's from. So what's cool about it is that you can actually charge this way, and then I'm not going to do that because that's a mirror. But also it gives you a little bit of an indicator. I don't know what this is called. Remax 20 watt. Anyway, so I like how I can just click right here, and then it'll just give me an indicator of kind of like, oh, you've got that much percentage left. So that's cool. Next thing I want to talk about are these two types of cables I use the most. So these are anchor cables, but this is a particular type of anchor cable. The way it feels is a little different. It just feels nice. I don't know how else to explain it. It just really has this cool feeling to it, which makes these particular cables really awesome. And they definitely have a lot of power in them as well. Now, this particular cable is a little bit controversial, but I love this. This helps me for productivity. So these are magnetic cables. So the way it works is basically you put a tail in. So let's say something like this, and like basically I pop that in, and immediately that's going to plug from whatever. I can bring on whatever's in here directly to my computer, or I can plug it directly to my camera up there, or plug it directly to a phone. Now, I don't use it for phones. I mainly use it for, like I would say, recorders and camera. So pop that in. Immediately I can send files from, and then just when I'm done, it's so handy for speed. Now, I am going to put a warning on this because when I read up about these, not a lot of folks know about it. They say these don't follow safety standards, but I've had no issues with them. I've bought different brands of these. They are great. They basically, if I need to just quickly, like I said, if I need to quickly just basically go from one end and just take those files and immediately transfer it to my computer and immediately take it out, take a file from my camera, immediately do it within seconds. This is freaking godsend. I love this thing. So yeah, those are magnetic cables. Okay, let's say this is the camera I like using when I'm working from home sometimes, and I like it because it's nice and compact, and I have it here, and when I need to elevate it a little bit, kind of elevate it that way, but it's just nice and compact. Camera quality is okay. I guess the job done, but I like how small and kind of sleek looking that is. This is the Ozbot, whatever. This is what I've been using. Okay, so for tools, now generally I have a whole set of tools that I have at home that I use instead, but I do keep these actually in the car. So the first is basically, if I want to deal with micro tools, like something more tinier, something a little bit more fragile, I like using this right here. And what I like about it is this takes double-sided bits, right? And inside, you see this, all these bits come out. But then if you actually get the expansion kit, you basically are covered for everything. So I like this because most of the micro stuff anyway are pretty fragile. You're not going to use a ton of torque. So something like this is just fine enough to do what needs to be done. And again, you can get all the bits here. And if you look here, you're covered for everything. That's like, whatever that is, times 2, right? So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's like 24 bits, right? Rather than carrying a whole big set with you, this is going to be, pretty good. The other thing I like to use is for, let's say I need a bit driver. For phone, I use the iPhone 13 mini. So there's that. So in terms of like, let's say for a bit driver, I like to use double-sided bits by Weha. And then basically you can get a Centrofix attached, like basically, it's like right here. But I like it because this is really good for, or it's intended for Weha double-sided bits. And if you attach that on a 711 driver, you'll definitely get a lot of torque as needed, gets the job done. I also like using something like this to wear a Rapidator and go like this. And if needed, I can just, take it apart like this. So there's that. Last is basically, I would say, I don't really use a pry bar all that often, but I would say 95% of the time I'm using this is, believe it or not, battery covers. I just find I need to take a battery out, and my fingernails just aren't quite enough. This is thin enough, but also it's, it's strong enough where it just like pops it out. And this thing is very strong. Like I can't, you know what I mean? It's really, really strong. And it's just, this thing is solid. So, yeah, I think that's everything. That's pretty much what I use these days. So